Welcome back to What Are Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the AMX 13105. It's a tier 10 French light tank. It's located on the north spawn of Far East, which is a reconnaissance map, and it's under the command of the BassmanFromHell. Yes, he's riding again. He's in his AMX 13105, and he sent me in a lot of replays for light tanks. Almost stopped playing Arty altogether, but, well, no, he couldn't stop doing that, but he has kept at least one Arty, I believe. Well, the AMX 13105, they started work on the AMX 13 in the 1950s, and by 1985 they got to the stage where they were going to fit a 105mm gun into it, even though that seems a bit overpowered. They already had the AMX 1390. Now, he's doing the traditional job of the light tank, which is actually to find the enemy vehicles, and he's found a Leopard 1 and a T110E4, and he's positioning himself in such a way that he can make a fast getaway. He's turning his rear to the enemy and getting ready to hustle away quickly if he gets spotted. Now, the AMX 13105 wasn't built by the French. It was actually made under license by Argentina, and it was also bought by the Dutch and the Austrians, but the French army didn't buy it because the gun was so powerful that it would actually crack the turrets. In fact, it's got the same guns on the Batchat 25 ton and the same engine as the AMX 13105 AM, the Arty, would you believe it? So yes, it's the same compact engine that sits alongside the driver up front on the right hand side of him. So it's basically just an AMX 13 ton chassis with a supersized gun on it. Well, so far he's managed to clock up 2,689 spotting assists, and he's noticed quite a few of the enemy, including that Sheridan. He managed to get behind him, but he has to retreat now because, yes, he has been spotted and he needs to dash into that cover quickly. Yep, he does so, but he pops back out again. I think he's unspotted now, but it just goes to show the enemy did move, and we just got a noise from the siren, which kind of indicates the T110E4 was probably in the cap briefly, and in fact it wasn't him, it was the Sheridan, and there he is. He's been spotted. Unfortunately our teammates can't get at him, and we're almost loaded, and well, you take a round from the Sheridan, but now the Sheridan's for it. One hit for 400, the Alpha's 390, he misses on the second chance. There, the third shot goes in, he doesn't get the kill, but he gets the spotting assist. So he took 2 rounds from the Sheridan and lost his driver, but he did get the Sheridan wiped out, and now he's got 1,500 hit points to his name. Now this vehicle is capable of doing, as I said, 390 alpha, which means with the 3 shells you've got the ability to do 1,170 hit points of damage in 5.45 seconds. That's right, get it right. Yes, because it's a delay of 2.73 seconds between each shot. So it's quite a long intra-clip reload, but then if you think about it, it's a 105mm gun. So loading a 105mm shell in just under 3 seconds is pretty good going. Found the enemy Leopard. He's in a lot of trouble now because we're loaded. First shot goes in. Second shot kills him. So he's got his first kill. Did he pop the reload? Yes, he has. Good. Okay, you should always pop it after you've had 2 shots. Oh no, he just saw that E4. I'm not sure if the E4 saw him though. His sixth sense hasn't gone off. But I kind of get the feeling he might still be spotted. Well, he can't be spotted now because he is in the bushes. So he is safe for the moment. Okay, now the enemy Arty was the object 261. He did get spotted and he's been wiped out, but now trying to locate that E4 again. Okay, got some damage assist on the E4 and he's out the game. We've got the rear end of most of those enemy tanks because they dived into the town, but oh, just got spotted again. Somebody saw him. So I think there's an enemy light tank somewhere around here. Oh, no, it's to his left, actually. He's got an Object 277 who's actually, I think, AFK. And so he is acting as a sentry, even though he's not actually active in the game. They ought to get rid of him as quickly as they can, but that is 55. He goes down to the STB-1. Somebody needs to get rid of that 277. He's going to get spotted again. He's out in the open. The 277's... Oh, he's now moving, the 277. He's not an AFK anymore. He's actually in the game. So I'm going to use the terrain to advantage. Try and pop up here without getting spotted. Okay. Ooh, no. What happened there? I don't think he liked that position. Wasn't happy with it. They're doing rather well in this game because they're 5 tanks up over the enemy. And there's the... Oh no, we've got the units 15-16 now. It's a tier 10 game, only tier 10 tanks in it. And we've got a Cranbarn to our right. Okay. Well, actually... See... Oh, Cranbarn's gone. Supercop next. Can you get a shot? I think he can. Yep, he can get a shot in there. No, he decided not to. He is actually behind that barrier. That's why we're seeing the outline, but he's actually in cover. Oh, and he's now potentially earned a patrol duty. Fires one into the Super Conk. And the second one. And all 3 shells gone, and all 3 shells did damage to the Super Conk. In fact, actually, he did earn less. It was a low roll on one of the shots, or two of the shots were high rolls rather. But the thing is that he didn't earn the full amount of burst damage. Okay, that 277 can't see him at the moment, and he's almost loaded, so he backs off to use the push mechanic, pumps one into the engine bay, goes for another one and gets it, and a high roll, and misses out on the kill shot. But he's got a nice amount of damage on that 277, who's not going to be happy. And he's already up to 4,361 on damage. Actually done, and 5,792 of assist. So he's really, really rocking it in this game. Masses of damage for a light tank. Remember, he doesn't have much in the way of armour. 50mm at the front is as he has on the hull. So any shot that he takes is going to do some damage to him. But he's now coming up to 277 and pumps one into his rear. Goes for the units. Gets the second one in and pumps the third one in. Pulls back before he can take any damage. He's now going to let his teammates do the worst whilst he's reloading. Unfortunately, his teammate in the Unis 15-16 just got blown up by the enemy one. But now I think he's got the option, and that's the last shot of the game. And it's a win, and a very good game indeed. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was an ace tanker game from BassmanFromHell in the AMX 13105. He managed to get a sharpshooter of getting 10 or more consecutive shots on the enemy, as well as a master gunner for getting 5 armor penetrating shots in a row. Really good 105mm gun, except of course it did crack turrets. It was so powerful. He also got a spotter badge for spotting at least 1,000 hit points of damage, and he did end up with a fire for effect as well for doing more damage than the hit points to his own vehicles. Sadly, he didn't get the patrol duty in the end, but the win rate actually was 8,709. At least I think that's it. Yes, 8709 win 8, so very high super unicum standard. He did perform exceptionally well. Let's have a look at the team score and see where he is. Well, in actual fact, he did get the highest damage in the game. He got 5,219 in that game, so he must have got a shot in there, which we didn't see. It wasn't actually showing. But 5,219, very good indeed. Not enough for 20%, not enough for the high caliber, but it was a lot of damage for a light tank. The second highest damage in the game was the enemy E4 with 4,128, and the third highest damage was his own Object 277 with 3,626 hit points. When it came to kills, it was the 277 who did the best. He got 4 kills in that game, but Bassman came in joint second with 2 other tanks and with 2 kills apiece. And he did that with the STB-1 and the 121B, which are arguably better tanks technically as mediums, but a tiny little light tank with an autoloader did as well as them, much better on damage. And when it came to base XP, yep, he's got that one as well for the most spotting and the most damage. 1,289 base experience points for the Bassman, 1,161 for the Object 277. The other one managed to get an 876 as well. So you can see these two players were way above the others in terms of ability and their skill. If we look at detailed report, we can see he fired 15 rounds. All 15 rounds hit the target and all 15 rounds penetrated. So he had 5 reloads and every shell he fired hit the target 100%. 5,219 hit points of damage, of which 1,168 were at more than 300 meters. He received 3 hits. Well, 2 of those came from the enemy Sheridan. And of course, he couldn't avoid those because he was at close range with the guy. But at least he made the Sheridan suffer and then made him an easy kill for his teammates before losing any more hit points. He spotted 5 enemy vehicles, damaged 5 of the enemy, killed 2. And look at that spotting shot. 6,005 hit points of spotting assist in that game. By going right to the front, right at the start of the game, he gave his team the best opportunity to have put some heavy metal into the enemy, and it really yielded really good results for him and his team. 91,664 credits from the game, 22,916 from personal reserves, 114,579 altogether, and after repair, ammunition, resupply, consumables, he took away a profit of 19,157 credits. So yes, it was the consumables that killed him on this one, and I suppose you might say the ammunition as well, but not so much the ammunition, I think, because I don't believe he did use that much in the way of premium. In fact, I seem to recall he used standard ammo, but yes, he did do very, very well indeed, and came out with a profit. He got 7 bonds. And he got 1,933 XP times 2 for the first victory. Took away 3,867 experience points altogether. So let's have a quick look at the armour of this vehicle. Okay, here's the AMX 105. You can see it's basically an AMX 13-ton hull. And the engine sitting on this side. There's the driver. You can see the armour is virtually negligible. The best armour on the vehicle is right at the front of the hull, 50 millimeters. You can see it's an oscillating turret, 30 millimeters armour on the top of the turret, 30 millimeters down below. In fact, it doesn't have much in the way of armour all around, 20 millimeters on the sides. The ammo rack just behind there, 20 millimeters there. And the rear of the vehicle, where the fuel tanks and other ammo rack, I believe, is stored 15 millimeters at the rear. So it doesn't have much in the way of armor. If you see the live version, you can see everywhere you hit on this vehicle, apart from the barrel, will be an instant pen, and even probably the tracks if you hit, because the tracks don't count as much. And so it's only getting effectively armor of 60 millimeters if they put it through the drive wheel. So yes, this is a very, very light tank to make it go fast, and unfortunately it also means it's very vulnerable to fire. But he only got hit 3 times, so I'm not sure he's particularly worried about that. Let's have a look at the modules. Okay, well, you can see that we've got the engine sitting right next door to the driver up front, transmission in front of them, and at the back we've got the ammo racks in the bustle. As you can see there, we've got a gunner and the tank commander. Gunner's on the left-hand side, tank commander on the right-hand side because of that cupola for him to have a look round. And we've got the radio actually below the tank commander, down below at his feet. And you can see the deep ammo store is right down in the bottom of the tank, and the fuel tanks are right at the rear of the vehicle. So yes, they are at the back. This is the vulnerable area of the tank, really, especially if you can hit that bustle, then you might get an ammo rack off that alone. But you can see the driver, well, he's not really well protected, but he does have a transmission in front of him. And the engine, again, is very vulnerable to getting hit from the front. If it does get hit there, then more than likely it's going to be damaged. So this vehicle can be immobilized fairly easily with just one shot, but it looks like that Sheridan was having difficulty putting the rounds where it would actually do some damage. Well, this is a 2 replay video because the baseman actually sent in 2 replays at the same time on the page. So I thought, well, I'll put both together and you'll get to see another really good battle straight away. So let's get to it and see it. The second replay, we've got the baseman with 2 other teammates, an Object 430U, the Noble Q, and also somebody else I haven't seen before in an E50M. I've definitely done videos for the Noble Q and obviously for baseman, so let's see how they get on. Well, this is the new map from the recon. It's Anykeyyevka, is it? Anykeyyevka? Trying to remember what the actual name is, but it is one of the new maps, and so I'm very unfamiliar with this map. Now, knocking that tree down might actually get him in trouble because the Heshpan would know that he's here, and that Manticore is probably going to spot him. His sixth sense hasn't gone off, so it looks like he's spotting enemy tanks at the moment, but they're not spotting him. But that rear of the vehicle is kind of outside the area that would be covered. As you know, there's points on the body of the tank where they can be spotted. If those nodes are in plain view of the enemy, then they can fire in. But sometimes when a vehicle's actually sitting in a bush, he can actually be getting spotting and not be spotted himself. Well, he's marking the Heshpan for fire at the moment, but it looks like he's behind a rock, which is why he's not getting an outline. But the enemy tanks up to the north are definitely getting spotted and shot at, because he's picked up 2.5k of actual damage already, and he's spotted enough of the enemy to get a scout medal. So he's spotted at least 9 enemy vehicles, both to the south of him and also to the north. Okay, he's marking the 114 SP2 now. And he spotted another one, the Progetto 65. So he must have spotted about 10 enemy vehicles now from the central position right in the middle of the map. But it appears that there's no sixth sense going off, so he's not spotted at all. And that's surprising because that rear node is definitely in the open. Maybe the computer is actually reading it as covered. We have seen stranger things happen, of course. Steve Walst has famously concealed his ELC Ever 90 in a twig and managed to get away with it. Okay, Wizzy 113 GFT and the 114 SP2 is on the move. Oh, Superconk now. So he really doesn't have to move from this position at all, because he's earning a lot of spotting damage just by sitting here. 3,614 now. Manticore comes into sight, he's marked him. He's doing a very good job by sitting here, sitting still. The Manticore's gone, and now he's got a patrol duty as well for being the only one spotting 6 enemy tanks whilst they were damaged. Lots of damage going in from the ones up north. He's now up to 3.7k. And it's beginning to look like he won't even have to expend any shells at all and still end up with loads of credits. 5,183. He's racking it up. I sometimes think it actually takes a lot of courage to sit here in the open, basically, spotting the enemy. And they can't see him, but he can very well see them. So tempting to take a shot and kill an enemy tank, get one score. But of course, if you do fire, you will reveal yourself. Just under 6k now. Oh, he did move there. Oh, he's going to take a shot. Yep, and it ricochets off the target. But he has been seen, so he will have to move now. I think the temptation was just way too much. He needed and wanted to get some damage on the enemy. And he's going to go for the E5. No, changes his mind. He's going to go for the 140, but can he get the 140? Not at the moment, but he can hit the E5. Didn't get that one in. Oh, he's been spotted again. The E5's gone. He's having to reload. Oh, he hasn't reloaded actually. He's decided to hold on for the shot. Pumps one into the object 140, who goes down immediately. So now he is in reload for sure. But they are now, there's only 3 enemy tanks left. And I think that E5 is going to take a lot of damage if he can get into the right position. Only 2 enemy tanks now. The E5 is a one shot, he's gone. Now it's the Wizzy 113 GFT. And he can get some damage on this guy. He's got him by the rear. The teammate got a shot. And he takes the kill shot right at the end to win the game. Very well played. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was the second class mastery for BassmanFromHell in the AMX 13105. He got a spotter badge for getting at least spotting at least 1,000 hit points of damage. He got his second mark of excellence in that game, so he's now up to 85%, closing on 95. And he's also picked up a patrol duty for being the only one spotting 6 enemy tanks, as well as that scout medal for detecting at least 9 enemy vehicles. I think he detected more actually, and his win rate wasn't that high. It was only 1,277, but that's because win rate doesn't work out the value of spotting. It only works out the volume, the value of actually hitting enemy tanks. And so, although he only got second class mastery, he ended up with a massive amount of spotting assist in that battle. Let's have a look at the details and the team score. Okay, well, he didn't get the highest damage in the game, obviously, because he was spotting rather than actually doing. And in this battle, we can see that he managed to get 1,072 hit points of damage, which put him way down at the bottom of the table. But we can see that the Noble Q managed 1,315 in the 430U, and his other platoon mate, let's have a look at his name, WP Medved. I haven't come across him before, but maybe he's an unknown to our channel. Well, in the E50M, he managed to get a very nice and healthy score of 3,823, and he also picked up a Confederate out of that game as well, so he did very nicely. We can see that Baseman managed to get the patrol duty and scout, and the Object 277 managed to get a Spartan and a steel wall, and the high caliber went to... Oh, it didn't go to the gorilla. He got a Confederate as well, so he obviously hit the very same number of tanks that WP Medved did as well. When it came to kills, the high scorer was the E100, managed to get 4 kills. 2 kills went to the E100, Leopard 1 and the Mouse. And we've got Baseman with 1 kill. We've also got his 2 platoon mates didn't get any kills, but they did do damage. And when it came to base XP, well, he's up at the top scorer is the E100 with 1,040. Medved managed to get 970, and Baseman's just behind him with 903, and then we're following up with Noble Q right down at the bottom, but I think he was doing a support role in this one. Let's have a look at detail. He only fired 5 shots in the entire game, got 5 direct hits on the enemy, but only 3 of them actually penetrated. 1,072 hit points of damage. He did spot 12 enemy vehicles in the end, no, so he was actually 3 tanks over the amount he needed. 2 enemy vehicles were damaged, 1 was killed, 7,182 hit points of spotting assist. He earned 60,225 credits from the game, 30,113 from personal reserves, a total of 90,338 credits altogether. And after ammunition resupply and consumables, This time round, he made a much better profit of 64,863 credits. 7 bonds again, tier 10 game, and 1,354 XP, but he'd already played the his AMX 13105 earlier in the day. In fact, that's the last battle you saw, and which meant that he only came out of it with 1,354, because you only get one multiplier per day. So a fantastic game in terms of medals. That is a Holy Trinity, but not with an ace tanker. It's always nice if you can get the Holy Trinity in a nice tanker. But having the second mark of excellence instead, that's just as good. So yes, it's a very good battle indeed. I hope you enjoyed both of those replays, the ace tanker and the second mark game. If you did, please show this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, and leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm and gets this video watched by other people. And thank you for watching.